I'm gonna talk here. I'm gonna talk to this camera. It's gonna look weird for a minute. Y'all are watching me, it's so weird. Good afternoon, everybody. We are up in Denton, North Carolina. I'm with some good friends of mine, and I'm gonna be up here for a couple of days checking out some really cool equipment, and we're gonna be doing some mulching today. I have got a machine behind me with a mulcher head on it, but it's a little bit different than what you guys are used to. In some of my videos, typically you see my big ASV skid steer with one of the big mulcher heads on it. Well, we got a little guy here today, and we're gonna be checking out and see what it can do. So let's take a look and see what we got. All right, got a little Takeuchi. I always gotta call them Tamaguchis, but it's a Takeuchi. I got a TL6 here. This is a 65 horsepower machine. I forget how much it weighs, but it does, hydraulic wise, this is about 17 gallons a minute, and we've got a mulcher head on it. So this is
Ira Matney. I'm with Rut Manufacturing. We've teamed up with TMC Cancela, and we're actually in a collaboration where we're doing a deal where it's TMC Cancela by Rut Manufacturing, Rut Manufacturing by TMC Cancela. What we've got here is our low flow drum mulcher. We've got actually 3 different models. We make the low flow, a mid flow, and a high flow. And we got everything covered from 17 gallons a minute to 53 gallons a minute. So this machine right here, this one's actually really good for 15 gallons per minute up to like 22 gallons per minute. And then when you go over that, you have to go to the next one. Now you gotta limit your expectations to what you think. It's not gonna be like a drum mulcher on the front of a 135 horsepower machine, but it does a good job, and it has a purpose, and it has a good use, especially for the size that you can get into, the visibility that you can see overall. And it's got the reversible teeth where you can flip them over upside down to change it once they wear out. But if you're patient, you can get a good quality job with this little unit.
And I think the big thing between this and like a brush cutter is obviously it does not throw stuff everywhere like a brush cutter normally would. You know, this would be good if you're a small landscaper. You know, running a lot of small landscaping companies run these little TL6s or TL8s or a Kubota 65 or 75. Yeah. You can put this on one of those machines, you know, and do small like backyard mulchings or something like we're doing today.
Exactly. Well, where I think it could be handy at and be a niche market is where you've already came in and mulched. Like this area that we're getting ready to mulch today, it was mulched about 3.5, 4 years ago. So you've got a lot of small undergrowth that has came back up where it wasn't properly taken care of. Nobody sprayed it, so everything just organically came right back up. Well, instead of bringing a $150,000 rig out to do this job, you can come with a 65 horsepower machine and a head that retails under $20,000 and do this type of work with it.
That's the big thing right there, is like, you know, to put one of these mulcher heads on a big you know, 100 and some odd horsepower machine. As far as a drum mulcher, you're talking new $35,000 to $43,000.
Exactly.
So
where you're looking at under $20,000 here, and plus the machine cost itself, instead of having a $100,000 machine,
this is a lot less cost in machine cost too.
I think this machine when we got it new was in the high 40s.
Yeah.
With an enclosed cab and everything. So I mean, for roughly under $70,000.
You can be mulching.
You can be mulching and doing, you know, jobs like this. You're not going to be taking out trees the size of your leg per se, but this right here is a perfect example of what this unit can do.
Yeah, we've got some small volunteer growth, little drums, a lot of briars, these little pines and stuff like that. Like I said, this was mulched, and this stuff is all just kind of volunteered back. These gums, you know, you mulch them down, they just grow right back. You know, typically mulching does not kill them, and then the rest of this stuff just volunteers back, you know, after a mulching job after what, 2-3 years or so.
Yeah, and the really good thing about where we're at right now, we're at a school. So this school that we're at, this is actually going to go back in. It'll help the landscape look good. It'll go back into looking like a mulched hillside instead of, you know, this degraded growth that's up that's just not appealing to the eye.
Yeah. So, well, we're gonna get to running this thing and see what it can do. We're doing, the RPM on this is quite impressive, is it not? What do we?
Well, see, the smaller the drum diameter, the more speed that you need, because it's all about tip speed whenever you're talking about mulching. So like on a bigger drum where you might be at 1,800 to 2,200 RPMs. On this, we're going to be closer to 2,700 to 3,000 RPM.
And that's spinning pretty fast, you know.
That's moving.
That's moving.
Yeah.
So this is basically like a more compact, slimmed down version of the TMC Cancela head that I've got. It does run a little bit different tooth design. It's a reversible tooth. Mine's a one-sided tooth. And it's also a lot better visibility off the top here. Mine has a more raised profile. This one's a lot more streamlined, obviously a lighter head. What's this thing weigh weight wise?
This unit here, it's right around 1,000 pounds.
So where mine weighs 3,400 pounds, this one weighs 1,000 pounds. So like literally 1/3 the weight as well.
Yeah.
So perfect weight size for a machine like this.
And honestly, I drove this whole unit over here this morning on a 1/2-ton pickup truck.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, all the way around, your expense is less if you have jobs like this to do.
Smaller truck, smaller trailer, overall setup.
Smaller footprint, everything is it's set up for an ideal job like this.
Awesome. Well, we're gonna mulch some of this stuff down and see what it'll do. right, guys, we had some fun in here today. Yeah, that looks good. Got all that down. It made some really nice, good mulch. And we were mulching some, there's mostly gums in here. And yeah, it turned all that into some really nice mulch. Got that looking really good. A couple things I really noticed about this thing I really like. One, it's super quiet. It's very, very quiet. You like when I turned it on, I didn't even know if it was running. It has no vibration whatsoever. I clicked the little hydraulic on button for the constant flow, and I was like, is it on? I couldn't even tell it was on until I started driving forward and see it started cutting stuff. It literally, the head has literally no vibration, and it's super quiet. Was really impressed. One of the other thing that I thought was really great, one of the things I love about the TMC that I have on the ASV 120 is that when you back drag, it vacuums up the material very, very well and creates that mulch. That's how you get mulch. It's not going over it forward. It's when you back up and run all that stuff through the housing and it spits it out. That's how you get good, nice quality mulch. And one of the biggest things I love about that 120 is its ability to vacuum up material and bring it into the chamber and spit it back out. And this one does just as good a job as that one does of picking up that material off the ground and running it through the drum. And it's got the counter cutters in it. You can see them right there. It's got the same counter cutters, or very similar counter cutters. They're not quite exactly the same, but very similar, these counter blades in here. As you bring that material up in there, it helps break it up and make you a nice fine mulch. It's very light. The weight of it is perfect. You can't even tell. If I were to put you in this machine, and this is a TL6, this is the smallest skid steer that Takeuchi makes, or anybody really makes. The 6 is like either this or a Kubota 65, or like the smallest. Well, ASV's got some smaller ones, but for the big, the bigger manufacturers, these are, these 65 horsepower are typically kind of the smaller machines, the smallest machines you can get for most brands. If I were to put you in this machine and put one person in here with a bucket and then put another person in the same machine with this mulcher, the way this machine handles weight-wise, you can't even tell the difference. You cannot even tell. You don't even know this head is on the front of this machine weight-wise. Like when I get in my 120 with that big heavy head weighing 3,400 pounds, you know it is on the front of that machine. Like you can feel it, physically feel it when you're sitting in the seat operating the machine. I didn't even hardly notice, really notice that this head was on the front of this machine. So it's very light. It picks up everything very well. It makes really nice mulch. I mean, that looks great through there. Yeah, so I really do like this head. I don't really beat around the bush. If I like something, I do, and if I don't, I don't. And I really do like this for what it is on a low flow machine, a 65 horsepower low flow. This thing is great. It really, really is great. So if you're got a small, 60 or 70 horsepower machine with just the low flow, not the high flow setup, you can get one of these for less than $20,000, and you can start doing small mulching jobs like this. If you're a small landscaper and you're thinking about maybe getting into mulching work, this is a good entry point for you if you've already got a skid steer. So just something for you guys to think about if you're in the market, but I really do like this. So again, you can contact Rut Manufacturing. They're in Denton, North Carolina, and they ship nationwide, and they can get you one of these. So check them out. I think also my friends over at CCE carry these as well. So yeah, that was pretty fun. So we got some more stuff to go check out. We're gonna get out of here and go check out some more stuff, so stay tuned. Bye everybody.